Mods.
Hey, thank you for joining me and welcome to Jag Mods. I want to thank all of the subscribers for subscribing. And I hope you find these videos helpful or at least entertaining and not coma-inducing. In this video, we're going to be covering why on earth I painted the calipers gold, rotors and shims and installations and why you want to put them where they need to go, the caliper installation, the emergency brake, handbrake, parking brake, or whatever you want to call it is covered in a previous video and the link is down below. And yep, you got it, more lock wire. Yeah, so enough of me flapping my lips, let's get to it. Well, here are the calipers. I don't have any videos of me rebuilding these calipers, well, because I did it years ago and I started it way before I had this YouTube channel. One of my Jag buddies asked me why on earth would I paint these calipers gold? Well, I read someplace that the factory colors on an XJ were in fact gold. Trying to find gold caliper paints proved to be futile. Now I've done this in the past by taking high heat caliper primer, put a couple base coats of primer on, and then use your base coat color, and then followed up with a couple coats of clear, and it's actually worked quite well. Now in hindsight, when I heard that the calipers were gold, it was probably some sort of anodized gold color, but you know, I don't have that, so this is what you got. Well, unfortunately I can't find the footage on the rotor installation, so here's another exploded view of the rotor and caliper with their associated part numbers. Again, these are from a Series 2. Something to look at while I run at the mouth. Basically, the rotor installation is pretty simple. There are two pieces, essentially. There are shims, and there is the rotor. Well, I dug around and came up with some video clips I used in previous videos to illustrate what I'm on about with these whole shim things. Yeah, I'm going on ad nauseum about them, but these thinly sliced pieces of metal center rotor between the two brake pads as well as establish the camber. And the shims come in different sizes, so keeping the shims marked as to where they came from is equally important. Well, I rooted around under the house in my junk pile and unearthed this worn rotor. Notice the sides didn't wear evenly. This side is 100 thousandths and 7/10, and for those who speak metric, 2.56 millimeters. And the other side is 83 thou and 4/10, or, put it another way, 2.12 millimeters. This is what happens when the brake caliper isn't centered over the rotor. Either the handbrake continuously drags against the rotor, or the main brake pad exudes more pressure on one side of the rotor than the other. Or completely unrelated, in this example, caliper was completely frozen on one side. While I'm on the topic of rotors, a while back I did a video called 2 IRS brake rotors. The link is in the description section below. The short version is with the release of the XJS, an additional differential was added to the lineup. It's a variant of the Data 44 and is distinguishable by the output shaft and input shaft configuration. Okay, well, sidetracked on the whole diff thing. Let's get back to rotors. Well, the short version is they're not interchangeable. And from just a visual, unless you bust out your calipers to figure out the spacing between the bolt holes, the offset of the output shaft access hole is different. This is the access hole for a Dana 44. Notice how it kind of extends over the edge of the mounting face. This is the one for the Salisbury, which is pretty much flat. I don't have a Dana 44 part, but I do the Salisbury because that's what I've been working on forever, it seems like. And I'll show you what I'm on about. Besides the shim being in the way, this is where you would access the output shaft. In theory, you could take the output shaft, the caliper, and the brake rotor all off. Not sure why anybody would want to do that, because since you have a part, you might as well just replace all those bits. But, you know, hey, there you go. Well, now it's time to get this thing stuck on and bolted up and lock wired. Maestro, cue the music. calipers installed, the next thing is to install the e-brake, and that was covered in a previous video, which a link will be in the comment section below.
Thanks for watching.